All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar today, which is a bit of a landmark one for us because we've got as many of you would probably already know, we've got the release of our brand new Local Oxygen 2.0. So we're all very excited about that. I'm sure you've noticed a lot of changes and all that. So what we're going to do today, obviously, Chris is going to run through all of the changes to the interface. Some of the new tools and things like that that we've got in the system, and just give you a good overview of everything, and where you can find all the different things and all that type of thing. So let's just kick off by getting some feedback on making sure that everyone can hear me. Okay, so can you just jump in there and let us know, guys? So yes, yep, Michael, Don, thank you. Yep, Norma, okay. Awesome, guys. Fantastic. Okay, and Chris, what about you, buddy?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, and you too? All right, cool. Can everyone see the screen too? I've got it at this end. So just, yep, all right, cool. We are good to go. So, all right, Dr. Chris, if you want to take over there and show us this bad boy.
Sounds good. Thank you, Andy. And, we are so excited to be able to show this to you today. Andy and I have been working hard on, figuring out new and better ways to help you rank your clients and to be able to serve your clients better, and also to be able to spend less time doing this. And so we're going to go over a few things today. And everything that we've done inside the program has been geared towards making your life better, making your customers' lives better, and just making the experience better all the way around. And so we're really excited to show you some things we've been working on. And we would like to hear from you as we go through here, your comments, your suggestions. Of course, this is always a living and breathing type environment. And so we live in, and we really enjoy to have having you guys give us feedback and give us ideas and things like that. And many of the things that we have in the program today are from you guys and from people just like you who've said, hey, I run an agency and we do this, and it would be helpful if you could do X, Y, and Z in here. It would really help us out. And we just go through and we build it in for you guys. So as we go through here today, we'd love to hear from you as far as like any comments that you have or anything like that. But we're super excited, and we have a bunch of demos to do, and we got a lot to do today. And so thank you for being with us today, and I promise you this is going to be well worth your time spending here, because when you get done with this, you're going to be just as excited as we are. So let's go ahead and get started real quick and ask the question, which is, why did we change the interface? And the reason that we changed the interface, because as much as we like the old interface, it started to become a little old and antiquated. 2 years ago, it was pretty cool. So basically, we went through and we decided that everything was like not normalized. It was like we didn't have a structure and a process, and things kind of looked the same, but in other pages, it didn't look quite the same. And so we decided to standardize our look and the feel and everything like that. Plus, we wanted to bring in some newer technology, which is HTML5 and CSS, to make it so that it is responsive in nature. So like if you guys are out there managing these things on your Android devices, your iPads, in some cases your iPhones, not sure I'd recommend that, that's a little small. But as you're out there doing that, if you're sitting on your couch with your kids watching the news or a Disney movie or something like that, and you want to get a few things done, we're trying to make this easier and more useful so that you can do that on the fly type of a thing. And so that's a couple of reasons why we changed the interface. Another practical reason we changed the interface is because it makes it way faster. We've tried really hard to improve the speed, and I know you guys have seen from time to time that the server would slow down or the interface would slow down and things like that, and I think we've gotten a good handle on that. So for all those reasons, we decided to change the interface and standardize it. Now, we're going to show you a couple of ways on how we're making it so that you can customize it even more. So we'll show you that as we go along. But what I wanted to do first is I wanted to give you an interface overview, talk about our new navigation structure, We have some quick links in there that make things a lot easier to get around, and also some quick company information, as well as a few other things we want to cover. So maybe what I can do is I can just jump over here and bring over a copy of our new interface right here. And so let me bring this in so that you can see it. I'm going to try to make it really big right here. And so basically you can see that there's going to be a lot of the things that kind of look similar, and there's going to be things that are a little bit different. Like, remember we had all of the navigation at the top before. Well, we've moved this over to the side because it seems to be more standard for applications to be on the side. And frankly, sometimes I don't want to see it. And so what we've done is we've built in some processes where we can either shrink it down like this. Let me move it over so you can see it. So we can shrink it down this way. We can make it just a little bit bigger if we want to see a small one like this. Or we can just get rid of it altogether and just work inside the dash that we're moving right here. So you can see there's lots of these little navigation type icons in here that allow us to move the dash around and to be able to see things in different ways that that make it easier for us, basically. And so we give you ways that you can kind of navigate around. Also, there's a quick button right here that allows you to expand everything at once, so you can see everything in the list, which is a lot, but allows you to see everything in the list right there. And don't worry about it, because everything that you had before is still in here, and it's relatively in the same area. It's just moved to the left side instead of on the top. So that is a quick overview of just the navigation. Now let me show you a couple of cool things that we built in here. And if you guys have like any questions, go ahead and put those in the question box right there, the chat box. And Andy, if you could ping me, because I tend to get on a roll and get.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. So
okay, cool.
Fire away, guys, and I'll I'll shout them out when I see them.
All right, so a couple of things I wanted to show you is like we try to make this a little bit easier to understand and navigate, and the most common things that we do, which is here's the checklist right here. So if you click on this, it goes directly to the checklist. If you click on support, there is a couple of things in here. One of them is to add content to your monthly reports. And so that's a quick way where you can just pop in here and add some custom content for this client. This one right here is Arizona Pest Control Exterminators right here. Or you can submit a trouble ticket, like if you see any problems in here. As we build this all out, we're sometimes there's a bug in the system and things like that. Sometimes there's more than one. And this is a good way for you to let us know, hey, having some problems in this area, things like that. And we try to respond to your tickets within 24 hours. And thank you to Colby for being on top of that for us. And so there is the support area right here, and then also the training area. So we also, of course, we have our offline university and tutorials, and this is where we keep our webinars and things like that. Andy maintains this, and he gets it all shipshape and ready for us. And so thank you, Andy, for doing that. That's pretty cool. For our local marketing university. And then, of course, we have our on-page training right here. So every page has its own specific training, and you can always find that by clicking on training and then specific training for this page. And as you click on this, you can see that the training will open right up. Now, just as a note, we have like hundreds of videos in here, and most of them have the old interface on it. So I apologize for that, but as time goes on, we'll start replacing those videos, and we'll get them up to speed and things like that. It just takes a little while to polish those off. So we'll get those done over time, but you get the functionality in each of the pages. And then, of course, the discussion section right here, where you can discuss all of the different aspects. If you're working with a team for these projects, you can discuss these things. You can store documents in here. You can keep the status of like any communications you have with a customer, things like that. You have different notes that happen within here from employees and things like that. So you can easily get to there by clicking on the training and the discussions in here. So those are a couple of things there. Now, another cool thing, you can see that we've kind of simplified this whole top section up here. We have the shopping cart up here, but that is what it is. Nothing too special there. But we've put down here, if you click on your name as you log in, we've put some other quick links in here where you can edit your profile real quickly. You can customize all the settings in here. This is where you set up all your marketing templates and intake form changes and white label, and just all that stuff. And your subscriptions are in here in case you want to manage your subscription, and the permissions that you give to your different employees or outsourcers are all right here. So these are all kind of common things that we get into pretty often. So we put them right up here under your name. You can see we even put your picture up here on top if you want to subscribe, or if you want to submit your picture in there under your profile, so you can have that there. And of course, you have the sign out right here, and you also have help and report a problem. These basically submit a ticket using our email system that goes into our ticketing platform. And so that is some quick links there. Now here's something like ultra cool. This is a great idea that Colby came up with. Because you know, as he was like going around and using the system, things like that, he's like, you know, I'm always looking for the client information, like what is their email address, their company email address again, or what is the address, or what's their phone number. Well, if you look at this little I, this information button up here, you're going to see that all of the information is right up here. All the main information for the company is easily accessible right here. So you can copy it, you can paste it into whatever you're looking for. And also the keywords. So as a reminder, you can see which keywords that we're targeting right here. And so this is just a quick toggle switch right here. You can see that it moves the other menu over. So it'll make room for that. And so that's a good way for you to have that information really handy right there. And so
just a quick couple of questions, Chris. Just jump in there for a sec, buddy. Let's see. Mike is saying, is there still a way to add a new client? So obviously just asking, you know, where can you add a client?
Yeah, great question. So let's go and do that real quick.
Perhaps from the home screen there, and also, so just that one, and can only find, Brian was just saying, can only find 27 webinars. I think that's what they're, but I'll check, Brian, just to make sure. Been you know, doing a lot of upgrading and that with the university as well, plus new stuff to come as well, so I'll check on that. And Michael's just saying, can you zoom in on the screen?
Yeah, I zoomed
okay,
in a
that's
little
what
bit.
you're doing now. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry about
All
that.
right, sweet.
It's like pretty big, so.
Yeah,
all right.
No problems.
Super. Thanks, guys. So yeah, to add a new customer, basically what we want to do is we want to go under settings right here, and then we want to manage projects. And so we call a customer a project, basically. And so this is how we create a project. A project is nothing more than you know, a local business that we start marketing for, kind of a thing. And if you just click on create a new project right here, it'll come with the checklist of all the different things that we need to fill out. And when you click on save right here, it'll create your identity, and it'll create all of the different items that you need in here for the basic kind of like starter information for the client, as well as you can choose your marketing package that you want to start out with, and your category, and your project manager. You can choose who you want to manage that project. And once you hit go, it'll basically go into, it'll move you back into manage projects right here with the project being active. And then typically what we'll do is we'll go down here to the customer login area, and we'll give them a username and password. I think that's already put in there from the add a new customer area, and then we will send the customer an intake form request. And it looks just like this. And so we basically just send them off an email that basically says, here's your username and password, and can you please fill out your customer information or your business information. And so that's part of that's how we kick everything off, and that's how we kind of automatically go out and get their information and have them input as much as they possibly can. All right. So I hope that was a good overview real quick of how to add a new project. And so maybe what we can do is we can go over just a couple of other things. When we've kind of revamped this interface just a little bit, kind of looks the same. But we've made it so that you can quickly type in here. So if we were to type in, say, we can just nail down exactly what we're looking for with just a few letters right here. So we can narrow it right down. So you can get to your projects much faster, much easier. You can bounce around back and forth. Now we're going to go around. I'm going to show you a couple other things in here, but what I want to do is I want to go back and jump into our presentation here and make sure I'm not missing anything. So quick company information, quick links. What I'm calling the quick links are these big round buttons up here. these quick links right here, because these are like the main things that we typically use to get around in the system to the main parts. And then these we can kind of dig a little bit further. Kind of thing. All right, so that's a quick interface overview. Feel free to ask any questions if you have anything like that, if you've been using it for the last day or two as you've seen us kind of go live and start to polish everything off. And so let's go to the next slide, which is the checklist overview. Now we've made some changes to the checklist that you guys are going to be interested in. And some of the changes that we've made, we go up here, we just click on the green button to go to the checklist. Some of the changes that we made are kind of intuitive in nature, as far as like what we ended up doing is figuring out, like when we're using the checklist, what we found is that it's sort of backwards the way we had it before. Because remember, before we had it so that like whether it was marked as complete or not was on the left side, and then we have like the details of what we're doing, and then on the right side we had the training. But that's not the order we actually work in. And so what we did is we came through here and we updated everything and we moved it around, and we basically just swapped these two areas here. We put the training first, and then we have all the details, so it's basically learn what you're going to do, and then go do it yourself, and then mark it as complete. Kind of thing. So it just seemed to make more sense to go left to right there. So we made some changes there. And then a couple other things that we did too is we made it so that as you click through here, you'll be able to see these little sliders right here to make it so that you can mark it mark it as complete a little bit easier, to see it a little bit better, kind of a thing. And as you can see, it works just the same as before. You basically just mark it as not complete, or you mark it as complete, kind of thing. You can see that it changes the color of the window back and forth that way.
Just a quick question, Chris, too, that Michael was just asking. He was saying you can't see the quick links because it's behind his logo. So I'm assuming obviously the logo is a bit too big. Thought that might be something that we should just quickly cover because it might affect a few people.
You bet.
Their logo's a little bit too big.
Michael, thank you for bringing that up, because that brings up a really good topic that we need to cover here, and that is your white labeling. And so if you come over here, there's two places you can get to manage your white label. One is you can click on your name and go under white label management, or you can go under settings, and the first item under settings is manage white label. And so they both go to the same place. So as you click over here on this, what you can do is you can come over here to your general info right here, which is your basic login information. You can go into your project specific stuff, but really what you're looking at is your management area. And the problem that you're having right now is that this first logo right here, which is your logo for this management area, you can see that this matches up right here. It's just too big. And so what you need to do is you need to go back there, and we need to have you change that to be 195 pixels by 70 pixels or smaller. And then what that'll do is that'll fit in this little area up here real nicely. So if you go back and you just kind of update it, and you can literally just click on select an image, upload the new image, it'll work just fine for you. You may want to update this as well too, because on the login page, this logo may or may not fit well for you anymore because of the structure that we had before. So some of you guys had some really nice login page logos up there that were beautiful for the last interface, but the new one, you may want to change it up just a little bit. It should look okay, but in some cases, you may just want to update it just a little bit. All right. All right.
Actually, Angie's just saying, Chris, that when I click on my name, I only have sign out, help, or report a problem, not all the other options when she clicks on her name.
So Angie, do me a favor and take a screenshot of that, because I'm not quite sure why you would only see the three. That'd be great. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, and please bear with us as we go through here. This is all, I mean, we haven't really even used this ourselves in production, except for like the last few days kind of a thing. And so, there's guaranteed to be a few bugs in here and some things that we need to tidy up. But we're going to keep a close eye on this and a sharp ear out for any comments and tickets that you have over this, so that we can get these nailed down quickly and hopefully they won't disrupt too much. All right. So let's jump back over to, let's see what we're doing. The checklist overview. Okay, so let's talk about the next topic, which is kind of related to the checklist, but it's about new communications. Now, one of the main things that we do in here, I mean, the checklist is pretty amazing in and of itself to allow us to have a list of things that we do that's totally customizable. And but we do the same thing over and over again for all of our clients so we can have consistent results. Now, when we go into the checklist right here, one thing that we bake into our checklist is communications. And you can put these in your checklist templates. You can put these in a, you can spontaneously put these in for different types of communication that you want to have happen throughout your marketing process, things like that. And so we've put a button right here to easily get to your marketing templates, because it seems to be a good place to go there when you're working on your checklist. You're like, man, I keep forgetting I need to put in to add a social media account on week number 3 or something like that. So you're like, oh yeah, I keep forgetting to do that. Well, you can just jump right in here and do it now. So it's just kind of a quick link right in there, so you can jump over to your marketing templates. But what I'm talking about here for the communication is this add this to-do item. Now there's different types of to-do items that you can do. One of them is just a task. So for instance, if they call up and they say, hey, I'd really like to do a press release, and it's not part of their program, then you can say, great, let's do a press release. It's only $225 or $300 or whatever you charge them. And then you can say, let's get that in. When would you like to have that out? Well, I'd like to have it out next week sometime. Excellent. Well, let's put in a press release. And so you can come in here, you can put in the scheduled date. You can say next week, so that would be October. Let's get that done by, like, say, October 3rd. And then you put in some notes or whatever, and you can assign it all out. And you can save that task, and boom, it goes right in there, schedule, and then it shows up on their reporting, and everything is good, right? Now, there's a couple of other things in here that we've included into the to-do items right here, which is pretty interesting. And these are the types of communications that we use to automate our processes. Now, we've expanded on this even more, but basically you can send an email, and there's lots of options in here. You guys have all used it. You can send a text message. Again, you can. There's some options in here where you can, have it from who it's to and who it's from. And then also, we've added this new one right here that's voicemail. Now, the cool thing about voicemail is that a voicemail is basically a phone call without having to talk to your client. And the important part of that is that when we're going through the week and the month, and we're busy doing all the work and things like that, there's nothing that takes up more time than talking with the client. Now, that could be good, but it could be bad too. It just depends on what mode you're in. If you're in client nurturing mode, or if you're trying to build your reputation with them, or you're trying to build a layer of confidence with them and talk to them about their marketing, well, it's very important to talk with them on the phone. But when you get into the swing of things, there's nothing that can eat up your day faster than a phone call, or 2 or 10, depending on how big your business is. So this is a strategy that we use to go and have a personal touch with our clients without having to talk with them. And that's basically where we can put in a title here, and this is just to kind of keep track of it in our system. And you can put in a scheduled date when you want this to go out. Then you can choose what time you want it to go out. And then you can come over here and you can put some notes in here, and that's just for you. And then you can add a voicemail right here. So if you click on voicemail, add your voicemail, what it'll do is it'll come up with like a window that'll allow you to choose like what file you want to upload. And so basically, I'm going to cancel this right here. But basically what you can do is you can record any MP3, WAV file, anything like that. And you can just add this to the system, and then it'll come right up. In fact, let me just do this real quick, because I think it's kind of fun to do this here. I'm going to go to my downloads folder. I'm going to type in MP3. And let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 MP3. Okay, so we can see that it not only loads it, but it loads it so you can sit here and listen to it. Right here.
Hello, this.
So you can listen to it right here, and then you can say, okay, this is the right voicemail that I want to send. And so you can say, this is a note to Phil. We can say, I want to send this tomorrow, and I want to send it at, say, not 5 o'clock in the morning. Let's do around 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and we can say. So one way that you can use this is you can create one MP3 voicemail that basically says, "Hey, I was just working on your project, and I'm super excited because we just found some really cool things. Things are progressing nicely, and I just want to reach out and let you know that things are going well, and that I'm excited to talk to you at the end of the month so I can show you some of these things that we've been working on because you're going to be really excited. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon." Now you notice everything that I just said right there had nothing to do with any particular customer. I didn't say, "Hey, Phil." I just said, "Hey, this is Chris," you know? And so you can record a general email, and when somebody gets that on their phone, it's you leaving a voicemail. I mean, it's them basically just saying, "Okay, cool. They're thinking about me. They're working on my stuff. They're excited. I'm excited." And so that's a personal touch during the month, and you can kind of do that 1 or 2 times during the month. I wouldn't do it too much, but maybe like, once a week, something like that. And then you can go through and you can leave them a voicemail, and then you can actually even follow it up with a text right afterwards that says, "Hey, I just left you a voicemail. Just want to make sure you got that," or vice versa. You can leave a text or an email, and then you can leave a voicemail and say, "Hey, I just sent you an email with some information, like maybe it's an article that you found, and you want to distribute that article at a particular time to all your clients when you're in a certain process or a certain mode, like how important citations are, because you're in the citation building mode." So you share out that, and you can follow it up with a voicemail saying, "Hey, I just ran across this cool article I thought you'd like. Take a look at it and let me know what you think. Thanks." There you go. There's a personal touch. You're thinking about them. You're working on their project, things like that. So these types of communications you can build into all of your templates so that they're just automatically there whenever you add a customer, or you can just do them on the fly. If there's something real specific, you can say, "Hey, Phil, I was just working on your stuff, and you just ranked #1 for Mesa Pest Control. Awesome, dude. Congratulations." And so then you can send it out later that day. And what that means is that Phil can get it at his convenience, and I don't have to talk to Phil. As much as I like Phil, I just don't have time to talk to him right now because I'm busy working on his project. So,
hey, a couple of quick questions on that, Chris. Just Lisa was asking, does that go straight to their phone?
Yeah, it'll go straight to their phone or their voicemail in their office.
Okay.
And the way that
Dan was just asking, what happens if they answer the phone when the voicemail goes out?
It doesn't happen. Let me show you why. It's the coolest process ever. And so basically the way that it works is there's 2 computers that are set up, and they're phone computers. They're like phone call computers. And so basically one computer dials the number a split second before the second one dials it. So as the first one comes in, basically what that does is it makes the line busy. The second one comes in with the voicemail, notices that there's a busy line, it shoots it off to the voicemail, and then the first one hangs up so quick that it never rings on the client side. And so it just dumps it over to voicemail and then hangs up that fast. It's totally sick. And so, and I'm sure all of you guys have experienced, situations where, you've gotten a voicemail on your phone and your phone didn't ring and you're just kind of scratching your head. Well, it may be this process, and it may not be. Who knows? And so basically, this is a fantastic way to keep in touch with your clients without spending more time than you need to on the phone with them. So we're really excited to be able to offer this in the new Local Oxygen 2.0 because this is really going to revolutionize how you communicate with your customers. Because the more you communicate, the better experience they're going to have, and the more trust that they're going to have in you. And it's human nature to just kind of think, hey, if I don't hear from them, that means they're not doing stuff for me. I mean, we're all kind of that way, aren't we? So this is a great way to keep your customers longer, to keep your customers happier longer. And
actually, we've had a couple of really good examples lately, haven't we, Chris, with some big agencies that we work with?
Yeah.
As well. Just about one of their biggest challenges is, just keeping those touch points with customers and, being able to be, top of mind with them and just really following up enough. So that's just such a perfect example of a great tool to do all that.
Absolutely. So yeah, we've been talking with some companies lately about that, and it's a pain point for everybody. So this is a great way to go in there and relieve that pain point and just make your customers as happy as they can possibly be. Now look at the reports that we've created. This is the new version of the reports right here, the new look and feel of the reports. Now we did it is on the left side before was the navigation, and what we've done is we've brought that up to the front here. And so like when you click on report summary, it brings us to the report summary, social media accounts. We can see the accounts that we created there, citations, custom content, things like that. So we can see everything that's been put in here, and it has a completely different new look and feel to this. And this red part up here is because we've set the header color to be red, and that's, you can see that the little dots next to, or the squares next to the different headers have a little red dot next to it. So you can change this color up here to anything that you want. And this happens to be the color of the local marketing experts that we market under right here. So that's why this is red. But you can see right here that as you scroll down here, you can see all the different work that we do. What we've done is we've cleaned up the images right here so that they're all squares right here. You can see right here, let me show you what the videos look like. So these are the YouTube videos that we produce now, and we actually show the YouTube videos right here. And so it's a little bit easier to see there, and we can see all the links and the reports that go down for all the accounts that we sign up for and things like that. So anyway, this is all the stuff that you do here. But if you look at the bottom here, you can see that there's also a listing in here under testimonials received. And so this, if you choose to use the reputation marketing tool, it automatically imports these without you having to do anything and puts them into the report, and allows them to see all of the positive reviews that come in, that stream in either through Google Plus or through Yelp or anything like that. And that includes the ones you add and the ones that naturally show up as well. So just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of what the reports look like. All right, so basically, let's see here. The next thing that I wanted to kind of cover up here was email, text, and voicemail for communications. Let's talk about some local marketing tactics and strategies. I think that's something that we all resonate with, right? We're always looking for like the next thing to help rank our clients, to make it, all the changes that Google has gone through over the last little while with, basically destroying the entire real estate industry and ranking directories and stuff like that on the organic listings. I mean, it kind of puts, and also shortening the 7-pack to a 3-pack in a lot of cases. And then that crazy carousel thing that they put up with some of the vertical industries like restaurants and things like that, where it's just like, it's really not helpful. I don't know about you guys, but I hate it. Whenever I see that, I'm just like, ugh. But that's what they chose to do. So anyway, there's a couple of things that we're doing right now to help out with your tactics and strategies. The first one that I wanted to cover today was reputation marketing, because this is something that is so critical to what you guys do and to what we all do, that I thought that we would basically cover this, and we're going to spend a little bit of time today on this. In the reputation marketing, you're going to find under manage and then reputation marketing right here. Now we've made this as easy as humanly possible. You are going to be blown away how easy this is going to be. And so let's see here. So basically what you can do right here is, like, we've already logged into reputation marketing right here. We've connected, but literally it's one button simple. If it's like, click here to join or to start reputation marketing, you click here and it'll bring you over to, I'm going to log in right here. It'll just bring you right over here to the reputation marketing portal right here. Now you can see this is a little bit different right here, because it's a whole different portal that you're going to do nothing but manage your reputation marketing here. And this is totally sick, because when it comes down to it, I'm going to go through a bunch of things, but really when it comes down to it, you only do 2 things. You put in your company information, your client's business information, and a lot of it's already in here already. You'll be able to see in here for Legacy Pest Control that we were just in right here. All we did is click one button, and it puts all this stuff in here already. And so, oh, this is my information right here for my stuff right here. But let's see here. So if we go in here to Legacy Pest Control, we'll manage this one right here. But you can see that there's a bunch of information that's already like pre-populated for you in here. And as you click on setup, you'll be able to see all the information for your company in here. And you can set up your micro page and all this stuff. We'll go over all this in a second. But it's like seriously like one button simple for most of this to get in here. And then there's a few things you need to make like decisions on, like how you want things to look and things like that. But once you get it set up, the only other thing you do is import emails. That's it. It can't get more simple than that. And I'm going to show you how powerful it is when you do this. And in fact, let me open it up in a different window here real quick. Actually, I'm going to do it in a different browser so it doesn't get mixed up here. Sorry about this. I should have done this a little earlier. But as you look down the list right here, you'll be able to see that there's a ton of cool things in here that you can do. There's a WordPress plugin so that you can share the company information or the reviews for the company and stuff like that. But I'm going to show you something right here. I'm going to show you a live customer that we have right here. I think that'll probably illustrate this better than anything else. So give me 1 second to log in. Okay.
So while you're doing that, Chris, too, let's just cover a couple of these questions.
Yeah, sure.
Michael was just asking, is it an optional feature?
It's absolutely optional.
Yep.
And
reputation.
actually, yeah.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
It's optional, but in my opinion, you're crazy if you don't do this because it's such a great value add and it's so inexpensive, and it's so powerful that you'd be crazy not to do this. Now, that being said, there's other programs out there that are pretty darn good as well. So as long as you're doing something like that, do something. But what we found is that this will keep your clients a lot longer, and I'll show you why. Okay, we're gonna choose a client by the name of Events and Adventures right here. Now, here's something that's pretty cool right here because you're gonna notice that under my feedback right here, you can see that people kind of hate these guys. Look at all these 1-star reviews. See that? They basically have a 2.16 star rating in our system. But out on the web, they have a 4.6 on Google+. So how do we get them a 4.6 Google rating when there's like a 2.6 inside, which is, there's a bunch of haters out there. In fact, 27 people gave them a 1-star, and only 4 people gave them a 5-star. You notice that? 8 people gave them a 4-star. Then it just kind of goes downhill from there. Right? So how do we protect them using our system? So basically, this is how it works. What you do is you load up emails into this email manager right here. It's actually the contact manager. And so basically under the contact manager, you can just click on this button and import a bunch of emails. And so once you import the emails, what happens is it kicks off a process where it sends every one of these clients an email that you can configure, by the way. You can configure what the email says. But it's very professional. It says, hey, we are very interested in your feedback and what you have to say about our company. We'd like to know how you felt. Could you please send us a review right now? Now, the review that we asked them for does not go to Google+, and it does not go to Yelp, and it doesn't go to YP.com or any of the other places that you can leave a review. It goes to our system. And it goes to our system on purpose because what we do is we say, please leave a review right here. And let me show you what it looks like. It's real simple. Here, while we're in here, I want to show you this. So basically, these feedback pages right here, this is where you can direct your people. Like when you see a video and there's a positive feedback, you can choose whether you have a male or a female video to greet them, to say thank you. And here's an example right here of the female. I'll show you what that looks like. So
hello, and thank you for leaving.
You can see
a
right here
review.
that she basically says how important reviews are to the company, and she says thank you for leaving it right here. And if it's a negative feedback right here, you can do the same thing right here. You can view what it says for the negative feedback.
Hello, I'm extremely sorry to hear.
Sorry to hear that we had a negative review. We're going to take this into account, and we'll get back to you, whatever she says. And then there's some disclaimer stuff like that. So you can customize the all of the messages and stuff that go out. You can change the emails right here. that go out right here. You can see right here you can update all the emails and customize it to your company, things like that. Here's the email alerts, things like that. And we'll get into the WordPress plugin and stuff like that. But let's see. Okay, here we are. So here is the external URL for your page that you're going to create for your client. Okay, so basically here's the review page that it's sent to, right here. And basically this review page is, just gives this first name, last name, a little bit of information, and whether it's a 5-star, 4-star, or whatever. So they can kind of leave whatever star rating they want right there. And this is a clear indication of whether they liked you or not. There's 2 things that we look at in here. One of them is the star rating that they give you, and the second one is the review. And when they submit this, it goes into our system. And it goes into our review system under My Feedback. Now what happens is if they send over a 4 or 5-star review, they're immediately sent back another email that says, thank you so much for leaving this review. We would really appreciate it if you were to copy this review and paste it into one of these areas below. And you can put your Google+, you can put your Yelp, you can put Yahoo, you can put Bing, you can put anything you want in there that collects reviews. And it's all customizable. You can even put one in there that's like super custom that we don't even have in our system. You can put anything you want in there. And then so once you send that out, if they don't do it that time, then they're sent it like 4 more times over a period of like 7 or 8 days. And so it keeps reminding them, hey, can you put it out there because it's so important? And there's another video that shows how, that explains how important it is to have your reviews out where people can see them. And so that is how we maintain the integrity of the company and basically keep the negative reviews off. It gives people a chance to vent to you if they don't like you, like these 1-star reviews right here. And it also gives them a chance to say, hey, we love you. And then we make sure that they put that out on the web. So that's how we were able to get a 4.6 rating out here when in reality they have a 2.16 rating. And so it really protects them from bad reviews. Now this is an extreme case right here because dating sites are they're pretty rough to maintain. There's others like car dealerships and things like that they just get blown up. They just get destroyed. And plumbers as well, they get destroyed too because people don't realize how expensive a plumber is. And so these are perfect for those types of events or those types of vertical markets in those companies, rather. And so basically, to kind of backtrack a little bit, there's lots of detail in here of things you can do, but honestly, it's set up so well that seriously, the only thing you need to do is basically go into the contact manager and import all the clients at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month for the last month that you haven't imported yet. They'll check them for duplicates, so you don't get duplicates in the system, and the whole system just runs itself at that point, and you can just watch the reviews start flowing in. Now this is how you do reputation management as well. So if you have clients out there that have a bad Yelp review on there that you need to push off, well, this is a great way to do that, to push those Yelp reviews off the page, or at least down to the bottom so they see the good ones first. This is a fantastic way to get your reputation marketing. We call it reputation marketing instead of management because you really are proactively marketing their brand and their reputation out there online.
Hey, do we want to go through a couple of these questions, Chris, just before we move on to the next section?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Rob's saying, I already have the reputation software.
Okay.
Can I use my original login details to work in Local Oxygen?
Nope, not yet. We might be able to do that, but we haven't got it set up yet. We barely just got all of the APIs and everything all set up from the one system to the other to make it so they can all connect and talk. And also, by the way, all of the reviews, the good reviews that come in, the 4 and 5-star reviews, they show up on your reporting in here as a customer report. So it's definitely something that you want to show off.
Mark was just asking, what's the fee for the system?
Okay, so I'm sorry.
How many clients do we include? All that sort of thing. So we do have a pretty good deal with it, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is for sure. Basically, you can learn all about reputation marketing by clicking that little icon right at the top there. you can see right here, there's tons of details in here about reputation marketing and everything that's all about. You can see all these different sections in here. So I encourage you to go through there and read all this stuff in here, because every bit of it in here, I left out a ton of stuff. I mean, there's like all kinds of like SMS alerts and things like that. You can there's tons of things that you can do in the system that we just don't have time to go over right now. We're going to have a whole webinar that's just going to be dedicated to reputation marketing, where I'll take you through every single step of the system so that you can be able to see all about it. Now the problem is if you signed up for this before, before you got into Local Oxygen, I'm sorry, because you're going to pay a lot more there than you are with us. And so we've been able to get some crazy good pricing on this. And we did that because of our relationship, and because honestly I wrote some of the software that goes into this. And so it's partially mine. So we have control over this. And so basically what the cost is, I think it's $297 for one time. So one time to get in, it's $297, and then it's $97 a month. And the $97 gets you 50 projects. That's 50, not 15, 15. It's 50 projects in here. So you're not going to find that anywhere out on the web. So it's just about as dirt cheap as you can get to be able to manage all of your clients this way. And then to maintain, 50 different clients, it's only $100. So it's that $2 per client, something like that, for this crazy. Now the cool thing about this too is if you don't want to do the reputation marketing and you think, hey, why should I import the emails? They're the customer's emails. Let them do it. The cool thing is you can't. You can give them the login to their area, and you can just spend a few minutes and train them how to upload the emails, which is like ridiculously simple. And you can just tell them, hey, just do this once a month. At the end of the month, just import all the emails that you got for that month, all the clients for that month. Or every week if you want to, that kind of a thing. And so you can even have them do your reputation marketing for you. So that means that you just had to set it up and you're done forever, kind of thing. And the cool thing about this is that the important part of reputation marketing is it allows you to keep your customers. Because when you start doing things like, let me show you a couple things on here. Okay, so basically...
Actually, sorry, Chris, I'm just noticing one question that's come up a few times.
Yeah.
It's just about the emails. When you're saying you just add the client's emails, just to clear that up, that is the business, your clients, that's their customers, a list of their customers.
Yeah, that's correct.
The email addresses, yeah, just because I think there's a little bit of confusion with people there. It's like, how do you get the emails? Do you scrape them? All that sort of thing.
No.
That's the client's list, their email list of their customers that you import into the system, and that's how you do that.
That is correct.
So there's another really important point there too, that's something you can really engage with your clients is, to make sure that they're building a list. That's another service you can offer. That's a whole nother area, because a lot of businesses, I mean, you come across all the different ones that some proactively gather email addresses, others, they don't even really think about it that much, but it's something that's really important. So there's something else you can think about too, that service you can offer, and another thing you can do for the business.
That's right. So this is what I've been looking for the whole time, and it's like right in front of my face. But basically, this is if you go up here to this micro page is really sick, because this basically becomes another directory listing for them. And look how beautiful this is right here. Here's their 4.65 out of 5 listing right here. Here's all their 4 and 5 star reviews right here. And the cool thing about this is that it's a beautiful, and it's all rich snippets. Everything behind here just delivers this to Google. And you're going to find these reviews start showing up on like how you type in for the local listings, you can type in, say, Phoenix dentist or something like that, and then the featured dentist shows up here on the right side. Well, these reviews will show up in that listing because it understands that these are like reviews for the company. And it's all Google compliant. I mean, this goes through Google's API, so this is completely compliant with everything that Google does. And so basically, you can see that this is all the client information right here. And the cool thing about it is in the Rep Management program, you can see this WordPress plugin. you can put this, you can download the plugin right here, and here's their API key. But you can put this page on their website. You notice that there's like no branding on it and stuff like that, so it's just a reviews page for their website, and they can click here to write a review. So you can encourage people to come over to the review site and leave a review, kind of a thing. And so this is a great value add that you can provide to them. It's beautiful, it's a directory listing, and it's a property. And then once they start getting all these reviews out here, they're not going to want to let them go, because there's a lot of reviews that are never going to show up on Google Plus and on Yelp, because people just won't take the time to paste them out there, but you'll have them here. So what does that mean? That means if they get a shiny object syndrome and they want to go to some other company to do something, then they lose all those reviews because you take them with you, because it's your system. So this is a great way to become sticky with them. So keep your customers and do the reputation marketing. It's good for them, it's good for you, and it's good for business. All right. Any other questions that you can see, Andy, before we move on? Because
there's a bunch. There's a few, that are repeating themselves there. I'll just try and pick out the common threads.
Okay. Now, just to let you know, I know
do
we
you
went
have a
over
way to post the reviews to Google. You get in the portal. That's from Eddie, and it's like, well, no, well, we don't, because really the customer is the one that needs to post the review on
That's
their
right.
Google Plus account. We don't, we don't do that, the sort of black hat stuff like that.
Yep. So we don't post reviews anymore. We did that for a long time, but then Google basically came out and said, we don't want you to do it, so we stopped doing it. So and plus this is way
it's not worth it.
I mean, why go out there and spend all the trouble to do all that nonsense when you can just go out there and just ask people to do it, and a decent number of people will. Like, we started this process, I think, a month and a half ago, something like that. And you can see we have 23 reviews out there in about a month or a month and a half. So it goes pretty quick. I mean, it doesn't take long. All right.
Does the rep marketing system work in the UK? And I saw in Australia there too. So what about UK and Australia?
Absolutely. It works in the UK and in Australia.
Okay, so there you go. How many sites? We've done that one. It's $97 a month for 50 clients. That's correct, isn't it? Yep,
that's correct.
Yeah. Mark was just saying the WordPress plugin only pulls in the reviews, not the external review page.
Yeah, so basically what it does, that's a good question. So the WordPress plugin brings in this page exactly the way that you see it, and it only displays the 4- and 5-star ratings, and it'll display in here if they are in Google. It'll show a Google Plus icon and stuff like that. So it'll take it directly to your Google Plus listing, kind of a thing. All right.
Hang on, mouse is in the way. Let me just have a look there. John was just asking what do we recommend or have been charging for this specific service. I'm assuming, John, just talking about the rep marketing.
Yeah. So what we recommend...
We'll probably go over... Yeah, okay. No, you go for it, Chris. Yeah.
So basically what we do is we charge, like, if they're going to bundle this with our existing services, we charge them somewhere between $100 and $300 extra a month, depending on the type of client. Of course, like dentists and construction, those types of companies, you can ask for more. And for smaller companies, we charge a minimum of $100 a month per client. And remember, you can have the client do their own work. You're just providing the interface, so that's basically a free $100 a month that you're getting, right? And it's a great service for them. So basically, I'd recommend doing it no less than $100 a month ever for this, and then probably $300 to $500 a month for this type of a service.
We've got a sorry, Chris. I was just going to say we've got a question here from some guy called Kevin.
Who's that crazy guy?
I don't know who that guy is. What's it? So he's saying another cool part of the review API is that you can pick and choose which reviews will show on their site in case there is a 4- or 5-star review that you don't want showing.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll fake you out. They'll put a 4-star review up there and then they'll just trash you in here. Doesn't happen often, sometimes. But you can go in the program and you can pick and choose which ones you want to show, kind of thing. And by the way, we're joking around with Kevin because he's our project. He's one of our lead project managers, and he uses this like every day. So he's gonna. In fact, if you guys are going to the local summit, in fact, I'm gonna put all the hands down real quick. Just as a quick show of hands, how many people are going to the local summit that's happening in about 2 or 3 days? Go ahead and click on the raise your hand there. All right, Eddie, Francie, Kevin. All right, if you guys aren't going to the local marketing summit, you're going to miss out on a lot because we got some great stuff that we're going to share. And I know that there's a bunch of other speakers there. They're going to be there so that it's like a no pitch thing. So it's all content driven. And it's going to be there to build up local marketing agencies just like us. So you guys need to sneak in there. You guys really want to go. It's in Scottsdale, Arizona. And it's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. If you guys want to get in there, I might be able to squeeze 1 or 2 tickets in, but they're pretty much sold out. So I'm going to see if there's any cancellations if you guys want to get in. But let me know if you want to get in, and we can fit you in there. Aaron, I know Aaron's going as well. All right, cool. So let's go on to the next thing. Time is moving on.
Yeah.
I have some
We'll talk.
cool things to talk about.
Yeah, there's a bunch of, there's a few people asking just about, the rep management, services and costings and that. We'll go over all of that in detail. We'll do a very specific one on, selling the services, pricing them up and all that sort of thing, different business models and stuff like that. So let's leave it for that, and we'll dive back into local oxygen just so we cover everything in there, and because otherwise this is going to go on for a long time.
And then one thing that we're going to
do that separately. So we can just focus purely on the rep marketing stuff on the next webinar.
Cool. Sorry about that, Andy. There's a delay here, so I keep talking over you.
No, look, that's it's one of the joys of GoToWebinar.
All right, so we're going to have a webinar that we're going to put up that's going to go through every single step of the entire process. So by the time you get done, it's like about an hour long. We've already recorded it, so we'll put it up there real soon. So it'll go through all the reputation marketing stuff, and it goes through every single link. It goes through every page. It goes through every item on every page so that you can see everything about it. So when you get done, there's nothing that we haven't covered, kind of a thing. And then strategically, like Andy said, we'll cover the how do you market it, how do you pitch it to your clients, and what do you charge, things like that. So also very important. All right, but I wanted to talk about power listings next. Now, power listings are something that we use, which is a complete game changer for us. And now we've been doing this for a little while, but the problem is that it's been very tedious to get this done. It's been very work intensive, and so I've held off on training you guys on how to do this because it's just a bunch of work. And but the payoff is really good. Now, let me go show you where it is. If you click on Manage right here and you go here under Power Listings, this is where your power listings are. Now, for Arizona Pest Control, we've already done it. You can see because you can see the report that's already done. And you can delete the report if you want to, but it's going to come back exactly the same. So there's really no reason to delete it once you create it. But let me go over, if you click up here on the details page right here, anytime you see this question mark, you're going to know there's something about this page that you probably want to look at, something that's important. And so let's go through power listings right here. You can kind of read this in more detail at your own time. But let me give you the nuts and bolts of what a power listing is. Now, if you have the ability to reverse engineer everybody who is above you in the rankings, would you do that? Well, the answer is, of course I would do that, because what that does is it gives you all of the secrets to what Google thinks is most important. So essentially, that's exactly what we're doing right here. We're reverse engineering all of the, this is how I got my crazy good rankings for like wedding rings and for skateboards and for hot tubs and for business loans above the SBA for like 7 years. This is exactly how I did it, is I reverse engineered everybody who was up there, and I took the best of all of theirs and I put it in mine. And when you take the best of everyone's and you put it in yours, you're the best of the best. It's just a fact. And so this is what we've done now with our business listings. That's why we call them power listings, because they're business listings. Now, if you're able to do 30 business listings, we all know how long that takes to do. Because we do hundreds of them. If you're able to do 30 business listings and have the power of 300 business listings, wouldn't that be more effective than doing 300 business listings? The answer is absolutely. I'm asking all these crazy questions, but we all know what the answer is that if you can do 30 instead of 300, you serve your client better, you rank faster, you give Google what it's looking for, and you are the best of the best, and you'll rank because of it. So here's how you do it. And this is the breakdown of exactly how to do it right here, and then I'm going to show you how easy it is to do it when we do it here. So basically, what you do is you go out there and you type in, say Miami, Florida. Let's say law office, Miami, Florida, right? And so when you type in Miami law office in Miami, Florida, the city right here, and you do it from an IP that's in Miami, Florida, so you do it while you're there, right? And so you do that, and these are the rankings that you get right here. So here's your listings for Google Plus right here, right? So what you do is you go up here and you go to GT Law and Eagleshire Law and Miami Criminal Lawyer and all these. And you go up there and you look on each of those pages and you find out where they're listed in the business listings. And then you make a big list of all of them. And then what you do is you take out all the major ones like YP.com and all those kind of things like that, because those are going to be done through like Localese and UBL and things like that we just do automatically, right? But those are really not that powerful. I mean, they are good because they're high authority sites and stuff like that, but everybody's got them, so it's not a differentiating factor, right? So I mean, if you have it and everybody else has it, what's special about it, right? You still need to have it, but it's not going to rank you as well as, say, for instance, a local listing of something that you probably never even heard of before, but somebody got somewhere on a local listing. And when you have a local listing that's in your area, Google values those extremely highly. And so that's what you're looking for, is you're mining for these gold nuggets out there. And so basically what you do is you create this big spreadsheet of all these, and then you basically categorize them into exactly which ones are the most authoritative and things like that. And so here's actually an example right here. You can just actually go out there and plug this in. In fact, let's do it real quick. Let me show you what it looks like. We go up here and we just put this in the listing right here, Greenberg Troy, and this is the name of the law firm, by the way. It's gtlaw.com. And so basically, if you put these out here, you'll be able to find out all of the different local listings that they have. Credibility, Yellow Pages. Here's another Yellow Pages. Local business.gainesville.com. You see this? Gainesville.com. That's a local listing right there. That's not a big one. Like, here's Hoover's, and there's myvisajobs.com. I don't know what that's all about. It must be a thing that they did. Here's Izoo right here, and it just goes on and on. And so this is how you mine out where all their local listings are with this crazy code that's up here. And if you're interested in what that crazy code is, you can read this a little bit later, but I'm not going to go over it right now because it's interesting but not important. Because what I'm going to show you now is that when you run all these and you have a listing of all these listings up here, I'm going to show you how easy this is. So I'm going to go back to the Power Listings page. And basically what you do is you just click on this report. In fact, I'm going to go to, let's see if this one has it, All Pro Plumbers. So when we click on this, literally it's all kind of done for you, right? So here's your primary keyword. Make sure this is your #1 keyword. You really only want Google Local. Google doesn't help much. You want the Google Local. And you want to make sure the website URL is done, and you click on Save. And as soon as you click on Save, you're done. So we just did all that work right there. Let's go back here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done. So this is what it looks like when you've completed it. So what we do, here's your Google Local listing right here. If you click on this big button, here's the #1 listing that you can get on right here. Here's the #2, so you need to do a press release apparently right here. So what it's done is it's gone out to Mesa, Arizona, and it's looked for Mesa Pest Control, and it's taken the top 10 listings that are up there, not including any listings that are nationwide listings, kind of thing. So like if that same listing shows up in New York, Chicago, we check these, by the way, against Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and all these, and any of the listings that are up there that are national listings, we just take them all off. So they're only local listings. And then basically these 30 right here are basically going to get you ranked right here, because these are the top ones. Now we give you a whole bunch more than 30 if you want to do more than that. So you can see all the ones that go down here. This one has 42, but we'll give you up to like 120, I believe, listings right here. And so basically these are the ones that Google thinks are the most important based on all of your competitors. Look at this one right here. I've never heard of this before. Pestcontroldir.com directory. WhoDoYou.com. Never heard of these before. But the cool thing about it is that I can come over here and I can click this to import it into my citations. In fact, I'm going to do it. And we can see that it's already available for all these right here, which is pretty cool. Now let's view the citations. Now look at this. We are in our manage all accounts area right here, and we're in the business listings section of that. So you see all of our power listings are indicated right here in blue. So we just imported all of the best power listings in here. So now we can come over here and we can sign up for these listings one by one all the way down. See how cool and easy that is? So basically you could just run through there and you can train any employee or outsourcer to do that. It's so easy. And then when they get done with the top 30, that's as powerful as what Kevin usually does with his team to create 300 citations for our clients. So that's why we call it power listings, because these are the most powerful listings that you can possibly get on the web. And basically you're reverse engineering your clients. I mean your competitors rather, not your clients, your competitors. So is there any questions about that? Now, of course, this does not cost right now. So we encourage you guys to go out there and just get it done. This is something that actually costs us money to run all those reports, because we go out there and we literally have 6,000 IPs scattered all around the United States inside of every city that you can possibly dream of. And we have multiple IPs in most of the big cities. And they are private IPs. They're not proxies. They're not public proxies. They're private IPs that we purchased. And we do all of our analysis on those IPs. And it costs us a bunch of money to build that process and to make that work. So take advantage of it in here. We're offering this to you at the cost that you pay to be in our system. So this is a thank you from us. So go out there and use it. Let's see. Will the power listings work in Canada, UK, and Australia? Absolutely. They sure do. Because remember, it's just a comparison process, right? So we can compare in Australia and in UK and Canada just as easy as we can in the United States.
Actually, one thing, Chris, too, that I reckon you might have undersold just a little bit, is just how much of a breakthrough this is.
Yep.
I mean, we've all seen, the different citation finders and all that sort of thing. This is like next level stuff from that. The amount of, work, coding, and, software and all that sort of thing behind it. Just explain a little bit, I reckon, Chris, just about that, of, how it actually goes and finds all of those different things, and, because the way you went through it with me, not being a software person or coder myself, programmer, was very, very impressive. And I mean, I've worked with all the other ones and I haven't seen anything like this as far as really identifying those golden nuggets that make all the difference in the world. We're banging our head against the wall trying to figure out why we can't rank a couple of clients that you look at some of the others and you think, we seem to have everything there. We've got more. We've got all our images. We've got, all the standard optimization stuff all done really well. There's just something holding us back, and this is, this is the key, or this is the answer to a lot of those questions.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So just not sort of in the detail you sort of went through everything with me of how the whole, that whole system works of uncovering it, but just I suppose in general.
Yeah, you bet. So basically, it all kind of starts out with a search, right? Best lawyer, Miami, Florida. And then what we do is we actually go into Miami. And we do it even more than this. We don't just set our search tools right here to Miami, Florida. Let's do PI lawyer. See if we can get some local listings in here. And so basically, we actually go in Miami. So we have computers in Miami that go through there and do this search. And what we do is we pull these listings from Miami as if you're sitting there. And what we do is we go and we look at all of these law firms up here. Now, what we do is, like, some of these law firms that you'll see up here are actually national law firms, and they just have a local presence. And so what we do is we go up there and we search 5 different cities. We search Miami. We search Chicago. We search New York, Los Angeles, California, Boston, Massachusetts, and I think it's Phoenix, Arizona. We search all of those big cities out there, and if any of these listings show up in any of the other ones, we immediately know it's a national law firm, and we discount them. We don't even look at them because it's just not important. What we want to find is the local listings that are ranking. And so, for instance, if this is a national law firm out there, we're just going to discount it, and we're going to take a look at all of these right here. And then once we look at these, we find out which local listings, or which business listings rather, are powering this to be up here in the top positions. And then we take the best of all of these, and we basically show them to you. And so this one may have a couple of good ones. This one may have some really good ones. This one may have a few good ones. But this one may not have the good ones that this one has. But you, on the other hand, will have the best ones of these, the best ones of these, and the best ones of these all the way down. And we do these I think 10 deep. So we look at 10 listings. And so basically at that point you have an edge on them, because now you have the best out of all of these, which makes you the best of the best. And you're going to definitely see ranking increases, if not going straight to the top, by using this process. Does that kind of help out?
Yeah, sure, Chris. I mean, look, we can't really obviously, look at the sort of the fancy pants, sort of code or, program, that sort of thing that does all that sort of thing. But yeah, it was just, I was blown away because I've been doing this for a long time, and, ranking on Google Local's always been one of those things that, it's a love-hate relationship like that, and when you're looking at some of those and you think, how the heck are these guys outranking my clients when, we've done everything. We've got everything optimized down to a T, it looks like. And for some reason, this one that's got like one image, a video maybe, and they're, what I mean, they're outranking. So, we'd be banging our heads against the wall like that. And that's the thing. And to find those local listings, those really obscure little things you'd think, surely there's not much power in that. It's the complete opposite. They're unbelievably powerful, and they're so hard to find. And being able to map them out and, uncover these, within specific radiuses and things like that within that actual location, like that was just a massive breakthrough. So yeah, yep. It's awesome stuff. Because for a while we've been obviously, working with lots of clients and that, and ranking them, working hard on it and that sort of thing. But it has been, it's been, quite a challenge as Google makes some of the changes locally and things like that with their algorithms. But this has just been, like a severe or, a serious breakthrough, in sort of overcoming all of those changes and really getting the edge on everybody.
That's right. Thanks, Andy. All right, and of course, all the typical rules apply. Like somebody asked, can you rank somebody who's not in that city and stuff like that? And you can't. I mean, you have to follow Google's rules, right? That's kind of our secret formula is we find out what Google wants and we sort of give it to them. We've always won that way. I mean, since the very beginning. That's why we could rank Viagra on page 1. It's because we understood exactly what Google wanted to see on page 1 for Viagra. And
the heydays, huh?
Yeah. All the good old days, right?
Yeah. So, Google going, what are these guys doing? Like that. So, the funny story of you and Google chasing each other, trying to figure out, who's doing what.
All right, so let's move on here so we can finish up. I want to finish up in the next 10 minutes or so because I know you guys are busy. But one thing that I wanted to bring up is one thing that we found with a lot of our clients is, or not our clients, but a lot of the people that we're approaching and selling to with our sales teams, is that they run into a lot of businesses who are broke, they're overworked, and they're strung out. Does that sound familiar to anybody out there? And honestly, they just can't afford you. I mean, even if you're only charging $500 a month, they still can't afford you. And it's because they've invested so heavily into their business. A lot of these guys, I mean, they'll literally put their life savings and every last dime into their business. And they don't have another $500 a month to do marketing. It's an unfortunate thing, but everybody's kind of there at some time or other. Most people are, most small businesses. So what we found is that this is a much more common problem than we ever suspected. And so what we've invented was something called do-it-yourself marketing. And this is something to keep your customers and keep them in a different way. And so basically what this is, it's a watered down version. I shouldn't say watered down, it's a simplified version of Local Oxygen. And basically what it does is it brings it down to a level where there's basically two things that you do. You put in your business information and you do the stuff in the checklist. That's it. And so a lot of the problem is that a lot of the companies that we work with, they're perfectly capable of doing a lot of the work that we do. I mean, some of it they can't because it's a little bit too advanced, but they can do like 80% of the work on a marketing project if they just knew how to do it, right? So here's an opportunity for you to go in and say, look, this is the last ditch, like out the door offer kind of a thing because they can't afford you. You can stop at the door and turn around and say, you know what? I think you would be a perfect candidate for our do-it-yourself services. And then basically, you can introduce them and say, look, this is like everything that we do, but we teach you how to do it. And so they can jump into Local Oxygen and start doing it themselves. Now, the cool thing about this is it does two things, which is a fundamental mind shift that's very, very important for you as a company. One is it allows you to become their marketing guy, even without you being their marketing guy. And what I mean by that is that when they're doing their marketing, then it gives you a completely different reason to call them than a sales call. Even though it is a sales call, it's not a sales call. Now, here's what I mean. When they sign up for a do-it-yourself marketing service, the first time you call up, you're like, hey, were you able to get in? Is it working good for you? Did you understand how to watch the video, learn how to do it? Excuse me. Go and do it yourself, and then market is done. Did you understand how to do that? All right. And then, do you need a walkthrough? And you can walk them through it because you guys do this all the time. You know how to do it. And then basically at that point, after they do this for a week, if they even get that far, they're going to realize how much work this is. And they're going to say, this is an unbelievable amount of work. And you're going to say, yeah, right? Why do you think I charge you $500 a month? Because it takes a lot of hours to get this stuff done. So what you've just done is you've educated them on how to do the work, because it's not a big secret. You've empowered them to say, look, I care about you as a business, and I'm sensitive to your budget. And three, I've just taught you how difficult my job is. And so when you ask them for $500, it's a whole different discussion at that point, because they understand from a fundamental level that it's a whole lot of work to get the right stuff done in the right ways, kind of a thing. And so it's a great way just to kind of put a leash on somebody who you may not have, and to come back later and be able to pick them up as a client, because all of a sudden that $500 they didn't have suddenly just appears out of thin air because they just realized, I don't want to do this myself, you know? Or maybe it is still good and they get their kid to do it for them and it works out awesome for them. So guess what? You're their hero. So when they start making money off of the marketing, guess what? They're gonna carve out a budget, because you're gonna come back and you're gonna say, oh, did you do your reputation marketing? Oh, why don't you let me do that for you? You know? Then you can start selling them new and different products. So we encourage you to use that, and it's an easy process to get in there. You just go to localoxygen.com and you just say sign up for the local business version of it. It's $47 a month. It's dirt cheap. It's half of what any of the agencies pay. And by the way, you get paid 20 or 25% of everything that they pay out. So if they upgrade and they buy a reputation marketing platform, you get paid 20% of it. If they buy a press release from us, you get paid 20%. You don't even have to even understand that it happened. You just get paid for it, kind of thing. So any of the upgrades, you get paid 20% all the way across the board. And it keeps your foot in the door, so that when you make a sales call, it's not a sales call, it's a checking up to see how you're doing call. All right? Now, the question is should they do it? And in certain circumstances, they absolutely should do it. For instance, we have a gymnastics studio. And this gymnastics studio is, they really can't afford $500 a month. They don't have enough gymnasts and stuff to keep going. But one thing that they do have is they have dedicated mothers and fathers that sit around and wait for their kids for hours at a time while they're in working out. So what the gym instructor did is he went to one of the parents who's a friendly person in the gym. They've been there for a while. They have a relationship with them. They said, we're trying to market our company, and I know that you like what we're doing here. You believe in what we do. You think this is great for kids. Would you mind while you're sitting there just taking my laptop and helping us out with that? And guess what the parent said? Absolutely, I would love to, because I'm just sitting here, just waiting out the time. So what they did is they spent 10 minutes, showed them how to watch the video, do the work, and then mark it as done. And they basically said, each one of these will only take between 5 minutes and 15 minutes each. So just get 1 or 2 done a day. So guess what they just did? They just got free help to do all their marketing, and the parents are happy to do it, and the gym benefits by getting all their marketing done. So how cool is that for you to be able to go in there and be able to offer pretty much a free-ish solution? I mean, it's still $47 a month, but basically to have somebody else do their marketing for them. Is that awesome or what? So now you're a hero all over again. So anyway, that's where I'm going to end today, because we've gone over a lot of stuff, and I know that there's a lot of overload and stuff like that. We're going to have some webinars that are coming up in the future that we're going to go over this in much more detail. So Andy, is there any questions that were put out there?
Yeah, there's one that I actually outstanding from before from Lisa that I just wanted to cover. I said that we'd get to it at the end there. Where is it? There it is. Really need to know about the old tool. Now, this is regarding the reputation management.
Sure.
About the old tools, we have a lot of clients using it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big reasons we're using Local Oxygen. So yeah, how the old tool and the new tool, using the old one versus the new, I suppose, is the question.
So that's a good question. So basically, we want to end of life the old tool, because the new one is so much better than the old one that we need to transfer them over to the new tool. They're going to be happier. They're going to be much more in control. You're going to be much more in control in protecting the clients. Not that the last one was bad for protection, because we kind of did similar things. But this is so much easier than the last one. You don't have to sit there and manually review these things. You don't have to worry about where they're going to post it and things like that. Because one thing that we were missing on the last one is that intermediate, like would they leave the review to us and then we turn around and ask them if they left a 4- and 5-star review. We basically ask them to post that anywhere that we want, like on Google Plus or on Yelp or any place that we want it, kind of a thing. So we're sort of end-of-lifing that one. Not that those reviews go away, because they're still in the system, but we're just going to change processes on this one. So good question.
Lisa was just saying there that the old tool is free, so you're talking about gathering the reviews, because the the big one that we had, that wasn't free.
Yep.
So I think that must be. Is that right, Lisa? You mean, yeah, may need to discuss it. Yeah, definitely. I think so. So the only thing I can think of is the review gathering, which was part of that sort of thing.
Yep. Yeah, the last one was free, but this one I actually have business partners in here, so they insist that we charge for it. So it's kind of where we stand there. But it's only $2 a client, so it's not that big a deal. So
there's a bunch of things.
I'm telling you, from using both of them, you're going to thank me when you get done, because this new system is the bomb. It is so good. Plus, the old system doesn't do things like integrate into WordPress. It doesn't give them a business listing with all the rich snippets and stuff that that allows you to get into the Google reviews process, where they'll show it in your local listing, kind of stuff. So, and also there's a whole bunch of stuff we didn't even cover, like social sharing. Like when they put it out there, they can share it like with one click on Facebook or Twitter. It's just completely sick.
I like this. I think this is Eleni. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. My brain exploded with the awesomeness. That is a fantastic quote there. Are rep marketing and power listings included in the one price package
Yes.
that you mentioned?
Absolutely. So the power listings are part of our natural package. So there's no cost for that.
The rep marketing is separate. Well, not separate, but it's an add-on or an addition.
It is. Yep. And I mean, you have to understand these tools that we build. We don't put them together in a day. I mean, these things cost literally like $100,000 to $150,000 before we can even release it to you. Sometimes even more. We spent $250,000 on one of ours. I mean, and then it costs upkeep. Like for instance, you can imagine what it costs us just for the 6,000 IPs just to have those every month. I mean, if each IP is $2, that's $12,000 before we even get started on the month. And then we have bandwidth issues, and we have servers that we hosted on, and it goes on and on and on. So I mean, there's a big expense behind all this stuff. And as sensitive as we try to be to your marketing agencies and try to increase your profits, there's a certain cost to get these crazy things done, to save you time and to help your customers rank and allow you to get more customers because you're ranking for your previous ones. There's just a certain expense we can't get rid of, so we have to pass along some of that sometimes. But the power listings, we're absorbing that cost, so just use it. We may charge for it later, but you're all grandfathered in. So, any other questions that you saw, Andy?
I'm just reading through some of them there, Chris.
There's a question out there. What happened to the auto signups for social accounts? We actually have another product that's coming out. It's going to be called the Generator that we're going to be releasing in the next, 30 to 60 days, something like that. We're coming to the, we've been talking about this forever, but we keep getting sidetracked by other tools that we were building. But basically, we're going to have that as a low-cost auto sign-up process as well. So we'll keep you informed when that comes around. There's several people on this call that are going to be beta testers for that as well.
Actually, Brandon Crawford was asking there too, do you have a suggested list of services you provide for $500 a month? It's a fairly open sort of question in a sense that, list of services, well, I mean, Google local ranking and that sort of thing, local marketing, as far as that goes, is one classic one for $500 a month, or that plus some reputation marketing. It depends. I mean, one of the things that, say with us, I mean, we have a lot of clients, so we'll, have part of the business that does sort of lower cost, maybe $100, $200 a month, but we have, hundreds and hundreds of clients, and they're more automated sort of services. But if you were just, if you're working on a handful of clients, then obviously you want to maximize those. So, definitely, you want to be looking at the 500 a month from there up, and I'd be doing things like, the Google Plus local and perhaps throwing some reputation marketing, but, make sure that it comes across as, massive value that you're giving them. And it's easy to do with Local Oxygen too, because you can show them, like say from the poster, for example, the local marketing master plan with all the things that happen there, so they see like, wow, there's a huge amount of stuff that you're doing. So then all of a sudden that 500 a month seems like a bargain, like really great value for the amount of things that you're doing. I mean, if you look at how little it costs for the reputation marketing, you think about how much your profit margins there. When it's just a few dollars for a client like that, yet to them, I mean, they don't know that. They look at all the amazing stuff that you're doing, and it's, it's worth hundreds of dollars a month to them. So,
that's right.
Yeah, it's one of those questions that, there's so many different things you can do, but that's where I'd start anyway. But we can talk more about that on the specific, doing the reputation marketing, talk about some examples of different pricing and packages and things like that, and how that, pertains to different business models. Whether you go, that's something that I do talk about a fair bit, which is the consultant versus the service provider, and, those two very distinct business models of, the more high-end consulting, which is what I did a lot of, as opposed to, say, one channel in our in our business that has, you know, hundreds and hundreds of clients, sort of the lower price point, but, you know, big volume. So, you know, that's a sort of the two distinct ends of it, of the spectrum. We'll talk more about that in the next webinar. So I know that's something always people are interested in, you know, maximising profits and which, you know, which one you should go for and focus on to grow. So we'll do that.
Right. So that kind of wraps it up. Let's see. We'll probably hang around for just a little bit to answer any questions that are online that we might have missed on here. And so thank you everyone for coming on today and joining with us to kind of show you what we've been, you know, in our secret laboratory building for you guys. And we hope that you like it, and we hope that you can find a better experience. Everything seems to be a lot faster, a lot more responsive. We can get around much quicker and easier. It looks nicer. And so just hopefully this is a more pleasant experience. That we hope that these ninja tactics that we're bringing to you with reputation marketing and the power listings under the manage section right here are going to give you great boosts for your clients and be able to keep them longer, make them happier, and provide a better experience, and so that you can go out and get more clients and make them happy too, and just rinse and repeat. Build yourself an amazing business. So,
oh, there's a quick reply just from Neil too, saying I'm charging multiple clients from $6.97 to $9.97 a month just for rep marketing. So there you go. There's a perfect example. That's, you know, that's really sweet spot sort of price point there too. That's awesome. If you can get a bunch of clients doing that, fantastic.
Yep. Now, that
is very, very sweet profit margins there. That is awesome.
Yeah. Seriously.
Good work, Neil. Yeah.
Now, just as a quick note, just as we wrap up here, this is recorded, and we're going to put this up. If you go into Local Oxygen, you'll be able to click here on training, and then go to University Online Tutorials right here. And then you'll be able to see the webinars and live calls right here at the top. And if you click on that, it'll be right here at the top. Isn't that right, Andy?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure will.
So it'll be right there at the top of page 1. So if you missed part of this, no worries. We'll have this up probably by tomorrow because it takes a little while to rip, and I'm going to take out some of my coughing and stuff like that. I apologize for that earlier. And so we'll clean it up a little bit, and we'll put it up for you. So there you go.
Okay, excellent. All right, and so yeah, we'll be. I know there's a couple of little bug reports in there too that we'll be on top of those, checking everything out. So anything you find, guys, let us know so that we can get on top of them as quickly as possible.
Yep.
Yeah, look out for some new and exciting training too coming in university. I've got a few things to add in there, and the other thing too, I'm going to send out a bit of a survey. I'll just get some feedback on, you know, what are the most important things that you want in the university too. You know, obviously the sales, getting clients and all that sort of stuff is usually at the top, but, you know, just give me some, you know, feedback on that, because, you know, like if I'm doing new trainings, and, you know, it takes a fair bit of time, as you know, to do those things. I want to make sure it's exactly what people want rather than things that, you know, are not going to be of as great value. So that'll be very handy. So I'll send that out in the next day or so, if you can let me know, and just take a second just to, you know, I'll make it maybe a, you know, checkbox type thing, or you can just enter in some things. That'd be great.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We appreciate your time, and feel free to reach out to us in the program, or you can send us an email anytime you want at support@smtoolbox.com. And we appreciate everything you guys do.
All right. Thanks, everyone.